Welcome to Picks with the Professor, the show where a real statistics professor gives you sports betting tips. I'm your host, Professor Sides, and for the latest updates and information, you can follow me on Twitter at Professor Sides. This Major League Baseball episode covers the one game that's going to be played on Sunday, October 16th, 2022. In case you're new here, check out the webpage on the banner. It's www.pickswiththeprofessor.com/new for a primer and explanation. If you haven't done that yet, even if you've been here for a while, it's a good little read. Make sure you check that out. Otherwise, the goals for this episode are to share key information about this game, give you a few things to think on, and explain why the plays are being made. I never recommend blindly tailing or fading any pick, rather hear the justifications and thought processes to make sure you're fully on board with me or against me before investing your hard-earned money. As always, remember that there are no locks in gambling. So what I provide are loves, likes, and leans. It is A, B, and C grades. Indicate my confidence level with respect to scaling wagers. However, please understand that good and bad variance will occur. So as much as I'd like to say we'll be profitable each and every day, that is an impossible reality for any gambler, though lots of profits around here. We just keep it rolling. It's been a fantastic baseball season. The playoffs are looking good. This series has been everything we could hope for and more. It's been a lot of fun. Got some more winners here on Saturday. Going to try to get some more on Sunday. But before we get to that, some reminders. Please hit that like button if you're on YouTube. If you aren't yet, please consider subscribing or following. It's free. And if you turn on notifications, you won't miss any of the college basketball, MLB, or college football content that this channel provides. And we've got that Patreon page. If you're looking to get a little bit extra benefit, starts at just $3 per month. You get the play of the day, plays of the day, plays of time slots, afternoons and nights. I try to give you a lot of goodies there. And every play that isn't made on show because the line movements happened after or weren't even available when we recorded. So, for example, yesterday we talked about Dodgers Padres and total on that one and the side on that one here on show. Line wasn't out yet. Posted that on Patreon and got us a winner with the Padres money line at plus odds and passed the total. So you don't want to know. So it was a little extra benefit there. So again, lots of good benefits, ad-free shows, Discord chat, which is great to just get a hold of us as soon as possible. You have questions, a lot of goodies over there. But otherwise, we'll get to the game. All lines, the line, courtesy of Bet Online. Sign up link in the show description and current as at the time of this recording, late Saturday night. As a reminder, the prices you see on screen in the parentheses are the money line prices needed for those sides to reach a certain level play according to my model. Sideline 7:07 Eastern. Yankees at the Guardians. 3 days ago, I told y'all after the Guardians was the first game, I might be eyeing that Guardians and 4 price that you'd be getting something like plus 600, plus 700. Who knows what kind of crazy price you'd have gotten on that. Hopefully some of you out there did that. If so, you've got some good options here. You can kind of hedge out a little bit of it or let it ride at the huge plus odds. Or if you're rolling over, you're doing great right now. Back-to-back A-grade money line winners on the Guardians at plus odds. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I joked with the Discord chat. I said I didn't even know if I needed to make a show today for y'all. If you're new and you're just getting here, we try to keep it light around here sometimes, and I provide a lot of good information, hopefully, but hopefully it's entertaining and it's fun. I joked with them. I said the whole show would just be me saying Guardians, the end. I've loved them all year, or at least the back half of the year. They've been so good to us, and they keep giving. Fantastic comeback there in Game 3. I'm going to be on them again Game 4. I know you're probably not shocked, but let's break this one down because there's a couple of interesting angles that I want to talk about here. First off, we'll get to the weather. In Cleveland, we're looking at upper 50s for most of this game. Winds will be blowing in or across and fairly strong. So it's going to provide a little bit more of a pitcher-friendly environment if those winds shift more in versus if they're across. Right now, it's looking like it's a combination of both. Again, around 10 miles an hour, a little bit over towards the end of the game. And so I'm giving the total a little bit of a ding because if it's kind of across and kind of in, that will help the pitchers a little bit. But this is something we're going to want to check the sheet in the morning. I do have a line at the bottom where I'll say when the model was updated. At some point here, 7 hours from now, 8 hours from now, I'll rerun the model. with the current weather, maybe in the middle of the day, I'll rerun the weather too again because that's it's going to shift the total projection. But right now, even with that little bit of a ding to the total, so I think it still says 6.9 runs for this one. I've been over on this series. I just think it's too low. The Guardians offense is solid, and you saw that again here. If you're with us over on Patreon, that was the baseball play of the day, was the Guardians team total over 3 on Saturday, and they got to 3 relatively early. And then in the ninth, of course, as you know, they got up to 6. This offense is solid. They don't hit a lot of home runs. And it kind of plays into this environment, right? This is not a home run hitting environment. So it gives the Guardians a little bit of an edge. They should be able to put guys on and get guys around and get guys in. They did that against Cole in game 1 up until the get guys in part, but they had lots of traffic. They just couldn't get that big hit that they needed. Maybe being home is what gets them over the hump. But I think 6.5 slow. I think we can get to 7. I think this total should be 7. It's one that it's going to sound weird, but at 7, I don't mind playing it under. I just would not play it under 6.5. Yankees offense is too good. Yankees bullpen is too depleted at this point. I mean, it's all on Garrett Cole. If you think there won't be a lot of runs in this one, you're basically saying the Guardians won't score. Just bet the Guardians team total under. Bet Garrett Cole's props. He's going to have to go deep. So why not just bet his innings over? Because there's really no way, in my opinion, that if Cole doesn't go 7 innings, and even if he does go 7 innings, it feels like the Guardians can get you, 3 runs here in this one. But even if he doesn't, they're in trouble. That bullpen just doesn't have a lot left at this point. They will be on all hands on deck, but as we've seen with the Dodgers here in Game 4, that doesn't mean success, and it doesn't mean that you're going to hold the other team down, right? So the Yankees are all in on Cole at this point, but their offense is good enough. Like I said, I think over 6.5 is the way to go. So that's an official recommendation for me. Again, I think the total should be 7. It is a little bit juiced, but again, 7 is such a key number in baseball. I think we can get there. And with regards to the side, it's a rematch of Game 1. I talked about Quantrill being such a good pitcher for the back, 2/3 of the season. He has outperformed his underlying metrics. Sideline gives him a 95 grade. 100 is average. Lower is better. So a better than average, but Garrett Cole gets a 70. That just shows you the difference between these two guys. Garrett Cole's a much better pitcher. As much as their ERAs are similar, I still trust Cole a whole lot more. The underlying metrics this year say that Cole's ERA should be about a full run less than Quantrill's, and obviously Cole has a track record of doing it. But as always, it seems like the Yankees are a little overpriced, Guardians a little underpriced, and especially with Cole's just always been overpriced. On the road to be minus 165 favorite is just crazy. Like I said, my strongest recommendation, if you're going to play the Yankees, that's fine. We all have to agree on everything. Just play Garrett Cole's props because you're going to get better odds, and it's all about him in this one. The weather's not conducive for home runs. Doesn't mean they can't hit 3 home runs again like they did on Saturday, but they're gonna have to really crush the ball to get home runs. And the Yankees offense is built really for home runs. The Guardians isn't. So the Guardians are set up to compete in this game. And like I said, I think the only way they do it is if Cole has a great outing. And if so, again, I think his props are the way to look rather than laying a price like minus 165 on the Yankees. You can see on the screen. Really, a price that I'm looking for to back the Yankees would be something like minus 115, minus 120, and we're never going to see a price like that. Set them on the Guardians. The A grade threshold is plus 142. The current price is plus 152. So it's an A grade play on the Guardians. The real question is just, do you go run line, money line, do you split? I think it's really personal preference on this one. My first choice probably would be splitting. But my official picks, I'm not making 2. I'm just making the 1 pick on each side. Is I'm going to take the run line, excuse me. I'm going to take the run line as my official A grade play. It's minus 120 right now. It's close to even money, which is always nice. Like I said, I think we can get to 7 runs in this one. I think this is a game that's 3-3 late. And then obviously I'm pulling for the Guardians because they've won over my heart as much as the Mariners did as well, which was, as an Astros fan, so hard to see the Astros-Mariners series. That was painful to watch because the Mariners have my heart and the Guardians team has my heart too. So I'm pulling for them. And hopefully maybe, like I said, you got some good series prices in the Guardians as well. So hopefully we're still pulling for them to win there. But at least if we're, 3-3, late in the game, have that plus 1.5 over 6.5. We're feeling pretty good. Not the Yankees can't win by, 2 or 3 in extras, but it's not as likely. So I like the run line a little bit more than the money line. And last thing I want to say about this here real quick is I am kind of hedging my bets a little bit. We always talk about this, that the run line has a little bit more value if you like it. The plus 1.5 has a little bit more value if you like the under, and the minus 1.5 has a little bit more value if you like the over. And you see, I'm going over and the run line here, but two things about that. Number one, that's generally for when your totals are between 7 and 9, not below 7, because here we can still get to 3-3. That's still a pretty low scoring game. And that would be over and the plus 1.5. So that's kind of a little bit of a quirk. You don't see a ton of 6.5s in the regular season. You only see it in the playoffs when the back end of the relievers don't pitch. So the totals come down a little bit more. And you say like, oh, it's only good pitching. It's like, well, it's only good hitting too. Like the Rays were the worst offense and they got bounced pretty quick. I mean, a lot of these offenses are pretty good, right? The other thing I mentioned, I am hedging a little bit in that they do kind of quote unquote contradict each other a little bit, but the Guardians could win this game 4-3, 5-3, whatever. We win both, or they could lose 5-4, 4-3, right? There's a lot of ways we can still win both, but I am hedging a tiny bit in that if I am wrong about the total, and if this is a really low scoring game, then our run line play on the Guardians is that much better. And if the run line play on the Guardians is in trouble because it gets out of hand, then we probably have the over. So I'm setting myself up for a situation where we can probably win one of the two. And again, getting to 3-3 or something like that, we got a lot of chances to actually win both. And so that's the angle here. Hopefully it's hard for us to lose both of these. Those are my plays here for October 16th, our game 4 in Cleveland. And that is all I've got for now. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Picks with the Professor. Don't forget to subscribe so you can ensure all the sports betting content we provide on this channel is dropped right into your feed. We'll see you again on Monday morning with College Football Week 8 with Cousin Jared. And again, we'll have a show, however short or long, for every baseball game left on the schedule. At this point, there will be no more than 2 games in one day, so every show should be relatively short. A lot of times we're just gonna have one game to talk about, but I'll still come on and give us the full rundown as you head into NFL bets. I know a lot of y'all do that. Wish you the best of luck, and remember, you can eat your betting money, but please don't bet your eating money.